news. Quite a few things happened here going into the final week of spring training as we get ready. News. I'm going to try to develop my skill at getting quickly through these things and just hitting them. All right?
Let's get into the news.
Big news. Join the Substack. Substack is up. Our producer DK will be writing a weekly article. We have a newsletter that goes out every week, keeping you appraised of everything that's going on in our world over here at Mayday. So go subscribe to that. And then we're going to have a bunch of paid only type content, extra videos, extra things. I'm going to do breakdowns like I just did with other things. We've got a fun one in the works that I'll be filming this week that will only be up there. You'll always get it a week early up there anyway. So we appreciate your support monetarily if you can do it. But if not, it's free. Everything, pretty much 85 to 90% of the things on the website are going to be free at any given time. So thank you guys so much. Use the QR code or go to IamTrevorMay.com and sign up. Thank you. And also the schedule for all the shows, it will also be on the Substack under show schedule. So if you're wondering what day the show is that week, because we have some weird stuff moving around the next month or two, it's up there as well. All right, straight into the news. Here we go. In the news. I don't know what that was. Bo Bichette homered and scored, deciding runs. The Blue Jays beat the Angels 3-2 for their 8th straight victory. The first place Toronto Blue Jays. Bo Bichette homered and scored, the deciding run to lead the Blue Jays to their season-high 8th straight victory in a 3-2 win over the Los Angeles Angels. The American League East leading Blue Jays improved to 52-38, sweeping a homestand of 7 for the first time since 1994. Ooh, that was the strike year. Ooh. And second in franchise history. So they have not rattled off a longer streak since 2015. They were pretty good that year. And they sit 2 victories away from having the highest win total they've ever had before the All-Star break with 6 games go, which is honestly pretty surprising and awesome. So congrats to them. Brandon Woodruff's back. Woo! Love it when this man is pitching, and somehow, after being gone for, I believe it was 651 days since he was on a major league mound, he threw 6 innings, struck out 8, walked 0, and only gave up 2 hits. 2 hits and 1 run, which is mind-boggling. He threw 70 pitches in 6 innings in his first outing after not pitching since Vietnam. So congratulations to him. That's pretty awesome. He was his first start since September 23rd, 2023. That was also my 34th birthday. Not that that matters, but I always like to point out when it's my birthday. So, though that wasn't a happy day for him. I don't know. I thought it was cool. Okay, so we have a quote from Pat Murphy talking about Brandon Woodruff having him back. No one could have expected 6 innings to hit ball or whatever it was. Locked in, Pat. Love that. He was sensational. Any worries anyone had about this guy being able to pitch for his future or whatever, he was right on it. Location, stuff, everything. I couldn't be happier for him and his family. What it means for the future, it's special. I agree wholeheartedly, Pat Murphy. And congratulations to Brandon Woodruff. Baseball is better when you are on the mound. Aaron Judge, Cody Bellinger lead the scuffling Yankees as Judge hits his 33rd home run, and Bellinger pulled off a pretty insane double play, which we're about to see in a moment. As the Mets, they beat the Mets 6-4 and avoid getting swept. The Mets need those wins as well. So 2 teams that have kind of scuffled as of late needed to win a couple games against each other and have. The Yankees, who tumbled from the AL East lead by losing 16 to 22 games, had matched their longest losing streak of the season. They stopped the Mets' 4-game winning streak, which they also needed. So I mentioned that play. Check this play out. Bellinger comes in on a Soto low line drive, makes the catch, and then makes a hard throw, doubling up Lindor at first, who seems to be absolutely stunned that just happened to him. That was a great play. You know, you got to give love where love is deserved. And also, Mr. Mark Leiter Jr. really needed that to happen. So the clapping, I'm with him on that one. All right. The Tigers beat the Guardians for the Guardians' 10th straight loss, putting up 6 runs in the 10th inning behind homers of Trey Sweeney and Riley Green. And things have not been going well in Cleveland for a lot of reasons, more of which we will talk about in a moment. But the Tigers win the game 7-2. Javi Baez continues to hit, and Tarik Skubal punched out 10 without giving up a run, because of course he did. They almost won it. They were up 2-1 in the 10th when Emmanuel Clase, pictured over here, accidentally threw a wild pitch, had the game tied, and then all hell broke loose. They're 9-22 since June 1st and have fallen to 7 games back to the final AL wildcard spot. All is not well in Cleveland, Ohio for the Guardians right now. And it's all is not well in Washington, D.C. either. They fire their manager, Dave Martinez, who you'll remember recently had the comments where asked if the coaching staff had anything to do with the team's struggles as of late. And the answer he gave was, it's never the coaches. So, yeah.
Kratz, we talk about HelloFresh a lot, but in the same fam is another option for you if you're looking to go on your little wellness journey or you're very picky in terms of what you're looking for ingredients-wise. You can go Green Chef this summer.
And I can heat and eat, because this summer I've got like 3 days where I'm not doing anything, and sure, those are going to get scheduled with something. Let's give me something super quick that I can heat up. The whole family's eating healthy, and they're full.
Menus change weekly, 80-plus dietitian-approved weekly meal options. Green Chef makes it easy to find those meals to fit your lifestyle, so go check it out. FT fam, there is an exclusive offer. Make this summer your healthiest yet with Green Chef. Head to greenchef.com/50territory and use code 50territory to get 50% off your first month, then 20% off for 2 months with free shipping. That's code 50territory at greenchef.com/50territory.
Things aren't going well. The last place Washington Nationals fired President of Baseball Operations Mike Rizzo as well, who was above the GM. So the two guys who led them to the 2019 World Series are no longer with the team. When asked for comment, Rizzo said, "The sun will come up tomorrow. That's the job. I had a great run. Navigated the ownership group for almost 20 years." Navigated that ownership group for almost 20 years. Woo! That's spicy. Sounds like, God, I did such a good job working with those idiots. I love that. I love that, Mike. Just give a little lip. You're going to suck as you walk out the door. That reminds me of someone else. So that, and by the way, that was sent as a text to Barry Surlaga. I just wanted to say, because this is the craziest spelling of a last name I've ever seen, but I just wanted to say it. So thank you for that. Mike DiBertolo, the Cubs senior vice president, assistant general manager, is now named the interim GM on Saturday night, and he will basically take over all of the same things. So, including the draft, which is happening in a few days, and they got the number 1 overall pick. So good luck. Hope you got your plans lined up. All right, real quick, let's hit these last two. Speaking of the Guardians, Luis Ortiz, subject of one of the more interesting gambling accusations I've ever heard about. So if you aren't aware, the right-hander is under investigation by Major League Baseball after a betting integrity firm flagged a pair of pitches that had received unusual gambling activity. Oh my God. So what they're trying to say is they think, or they're looking into whether, and this is alleged, so we got to be very, very clear here. So I got to make sure I do this correctly. Allegedly, what they're saying is he might have been throwing a specific result on a pitch because they looked weird, the pitches looked weird, and the results and the number of people betting on those pitches was also weird simultaneously. So we actually have the pitches here. We'll take a check on them in a minute. But betting integrity firm IC360 sent an alert on June and sportsbook operators regarding Ortiz, whom MLB had placed on non-disciplinary and paid leave through July 17th. So basically, he's on leave right now until they figure this thing out, get it sorted out. They said it was 2 first pitches, and one was a ball. was selected innings to be a ball or a hit batsman in both games. So these two pitches were basically overwhelmingly bet on being either a ball or a hit batter. Either one works because a guy can get hit and it, you know what I mean. You guys know. So they got flagged, but I want to hear what you guys think about these. So let's watch them. So the first one here was the first pitch of an inning in the third inning against the Angels. One of the weirdest pitches I've ever seen. It almost looks like he tried to do it, but this next one mechanically looks very obvious to me. So he doesn't follow through like that, and he made sure he bounced him because you don't want to accidentally throw a strike if you are trying to throw a ball. Those were like, if I'm not an expert, I have nothing to do with this, but I understand why red flags went up on those. Those were pretty interesting looking pitches. So I'll let you be the judge. We will wait on information that will come out about that because it was very just interesting, the timing of the whole thing. But it's our first. It could be our first, if proven, and if it did happen, it would be the first time anything like this has happened since Pete Rose, which is just crazy, but also not remotely surprising based on how betting is now. So we'll see what happens with that. And last, Darvish, he's back or coming back. Will be back soon. He is set to make his debut today against the Diamondbacks. He turns 39 this year. He's aiming for 75 pitches, and if he comes in sharp, which he tends to do, Darvish is never not sharp, frankly. He could be a huge pickup for the Padres to get kind of back on the horse and make a little bit more of a run for that wild card / winning that division. So Darvish is coming back, and once again, just like Brandon Woodruff, baseball is better with him in it.